more straightforward than the TCG does. But a lot of hits here, as you can see. We're going to get through these. Listen, I'm no connoisseur of the OCG. I keep a bird's eye view on the OCG, like a holistic view. I don't know the nitty gritty. So we're going to go through it. I'm going to talk about some of these things, maybe some things that I also try to relate to the TCG essentially going forward, and go from there. So starting off, Beatrice is the only banned card. Funny enough, I think that's probably right. Beatrice to me has errata written all over it. I think they errata in a couple years, and it'll come back, and it'll either be dead because they errata too hard, or it'll be only good in like specific decks. So we'll see. Moving on. All the limits. A lot of limits here. A lot of interesting stuff. You have 4 cards coming off the list in Dryad, Masterpiece, Dragoon, and Snatch Steel. Zoom through these real quick. Snatch Steel, kind of surprised it didn't come off when you talked about things like a year ago. Only scary, like really scary if Verte is legal. But as long as Verte is banned for them as well, I think I'm okay with Dragoon. Most competitive decks have ways to deal with Dragoon. Same with Masterpiece. Like, it's kind of just power creep. At this point, now I would be scared that, like, hopefully Konami doesn't have crazy plans to give, like, True Draco new support anytime soon, because then I think this card becomes very scary. But I think with where the True Draco engine is and where modern day decks power levels and utility, like being able to remove cards like these, I think it's probably okay. And then Dryad, I just made a video 2 days ago talking about how can Konami get Zodiac cards off the ban list, and actually going deeper into discussions after that video. I think Dryad's probably okay, because you can only, like, cheap summon it once per turn. So I think it's actually okay. But anyway, alright, those are the limits. Very cool to see. Moving on to the limits. So I think all of these except for Bonfire are going straight from 3 to 1. So you have for, your Snake Eye stuff, you've got Diabellstar, Poplar, and Bonfire. So you're losing 1 copy of Bonfire, 2 copies of GPs. Nobody's really playing 3 Poplar usually 2. So they are losing 4 more copies of main deck cards for Snake Eye. Consistency. Plus I guess main spin, so like probably 2 Engraver as well. So Snake Eye just straight up lost like only like 6 main deck slots. And in the TCG a lot of players tend to not love the consistency hit, like a way of taking on a ban list. But I guess if you do it in this much volume, it's like they have Ash at 1, Wanted at 1, now Diabellstar and Poplar to 1, Bonfire to 1, Fiendsmith Engraver to 1. Like they've lost like straight up 10 main deck cards. You can only supplement that many consistency cards with so much. But we'll have to see where they sit after this. Next up, you move to the 1 Tempai Dragon hit. This, I believe, this guy is their tuner, right? So just really limit consistency and access to the tuner. Maybe it won't, right? Like they do have a lot of options, extra options for consistency too, but
Hello, Moto.
I don't know. This card is interesting. I think with like multiple Charmies being printed too, like even though they were trying to hit the deck at the same time, they also were kind of giving cards to like maybe the only deck in the game that really can't afford to main deck those types of cards, whereas everybody else has to side them. So they're just getting an extra 1/3 of value at least, just being able to bring it in, for game 1. Interesting though. Like I honestly don't know if this will be enough because they usually don't. I mean, like I guess they don't mind hard drawing it, but a lot of times they're like pulling it out of the deck, and so it doesn't limit that, but it does hurt for sure because they want to play 2 or 3 of this card no matter what anyway. So. Yeah, Phantom of Yubel goes from 3 to 1. I actually really like this. I think one of the craziest things about Yubel was what Phantom allows them to do grind-wise. It's obviously a really good answer to stuff like Nib, and if somebody's trying to save a hand trap later and you can get this early, obviously that's a pain. But man, if you're able to play 2 or 3 of this, and like literally after you literally make this stop Nib, and then you can just make it again. You can't use its negate again in the same turn, but you can make a second one in the same turn. So then you just make an extra negate. Like it's insane. This card is crazy. I think 1 makes sense. I really do. I know it's new, but like I think 1 is totally fine. So like this card crazy, and everybody's gonna need 1, but more than 1 seems so crazy in the grind. Then the Fiends with hits. So this is these. They don't have Sanctus Band like we do, but they're going after more main deck hits with Engraver 1 and this is Tractus. This is Tractus to 1. Now there's no Sanctus, and Sanctus still does stuff on its own too. But you do limit some of the better cards to open in the engine. So that's cool. And then Bonfire kind of plays into a couple things. Obviously Snake Eye, but also low key with Bonfire. Rizio is still probably too new for them to 1 hit it in the OCG, even though it's performing really well competitively. But this is kind of a way for them to kind of trick people into being like, we're using Snake Eye, but also we're taking another consistency card away from Rizio at the same time. So I feel that. Alright, into the semi limits. Normally semi limits are lame as hell, but there actually are some really spicy ones here. So Ava, we don't care. Paper Top, we don't care. MX Invoker, we don't care. The difference between 2 and 1 Invoker and Ava doesn't matter. Pendulum, you shouldn't have been on here anyway. Future Destiny, who cares? Raid opening, the difference between 1 and 2 is whatever. 1 and 3 maybe we're talking about. 1 and 2 is okay, sure. The interesting ones to me are for the ones at least coming off the list are Terror Top, Speedway Sport coming, and with MX Invoker like back like this, if they release 1 more, this is just a straight up engine with the mains like without normal summon we make MX Invoker, which isn't the craziest thing in the world, but like they're also releasing some Zoo stuff, so like that does make that kind of spicy for Zoo. But we'll see. And then I think Gold Sark is pretty interesting to me. I just think with Malice and like Thunder Dragon having Colossus back in, I think both formats now. This card is a little scary. It's just Foolish Burial-esque. It's definitely worse generically on like how many decks it applies to and how many situations it applies to, but like it's 2024. Konami has definitely shown a propensity lately to lean more into making more archetypes that are based around banishing. And so if Banish becomes more and more of a utilized area of the game, kind of like the Graveyard was, like the Graveyard used to be the Graveyard, like it was kind of bad. They go there in early Yu-Gi-Oh, and then we've slowly come along. Like Graveyard's good. It's a second hand now. I'm just scared that it's like not once per turn, just like, basically gets any monster in the deck banished, right? That's my only concern. If it was a hardest turn, I'd probably be cool with it. But like if it's at 2, then like are they going to make it at 3 soon? Like that's.
Hello, Moto.
That's what I'm more so worried about. I'm not that scared too, but like just 3 and not hard ones per turn, it just makes me feel the rest of you get limited again, basically. Alright, then you have the 3 at the bottom. Nightmare Throne. Small 1 card hit in the main deck for consistency for you go, sure. Gozen goes from 3 to 2, probably correct. We're seeing the TCG has been really proactive in hitting the broken floodgates over the last year. Good to see that the OCG is also trending a little bit in that direction as well. And then you have Maxx. This is probably the biggest thing on this list. Like obviously the cards that made for this immediate format, like cool, Phantom of Yubel is a big hit to 1, right? Stuff like that, the Fiends hits. But in terms of just straight up, sorry, one more thing. Beatrice banned, and I know the OCG doesn't have Necroquip Princess or Star here. So what does the Fiends engine do now? Like I guess it just gets you bodies, but you're not like making a rank 6 now, I don't think. And because you just can't put 2 6s on the field. Oh, that's extra interesting. Okay, just something to keep in mind. Anyway, and still maybe good enough as just an engine that gets you bodies to like just keep climbing and stuff, but they do not make rank 6 anymore, I think, in the OCG. And then you have back to Maxx. So there are some other hits that like for this immediate format maybe bigger, but as far as like holistic, the entire game of their like competitive scene, Maxx going into is a pretty big hit. I mean that's literally a 1 card hit to every single deck in the game. If you were playing a competitive deck in the OCG, it had 3 Maxx in. That's just what you had to do. It's the best card in the game. If you know what I mean, you're gonna play it. So this is really interesting. I don't know where to go from here. This is a weird middle ground where it's like, okay, it's not 1-0, so it's not as crazy sacky as it could be at 1. But also, like, now you just took it from, I forgot what the percentages are for like a 40 card deck. Like, if 3 having a 40 card deck is something like, at least a 1/3 chance to draw it or something. Is it now closer to like 20, 25% chance to draw it? And maybe that's okay. And maybe that's a place enough where, like, some decks that hard lose an XC just have a little more leeway because they're just not going to run into it as much. It's not gone. But it means those decks that were just like, dude, every 3 games my opponent has Maxx and I just can't beat Maxx. Well, now that every 4 games, and you just get a little more leeway. Now you get an extra game, an extra 2 or 3 games throughout a tournament where you don't have to run a Maxx. So, it's interesting. I don't know if it's right or not because, like, I think a lot of people have said between the OCG and the NCG, like, 0 or 3. Like, you kind of either want it to be a full part of the format, that's just your decision, or gone. You don't have to be more sacky. But it is what it is.
This is a stupid argument.
Maybe they're coming out with the
I never liked it from the beginning.
because they're like, we have side deckable.
It's the same thing they've said from the beginning, and it still makes no sense.
Limiting the ceiling on certain decks, especially when you go second. Interesting. All right, and then
Because I want to hit with it 3 times instead of 1. If I heat it. Makes no sense.
There's that. Garen doesn't matter. Like, he does already at 2. I don't know who's really trying to squeeze 3 into the side deck, but you can now. Sure. Those cards didn't need to be on there. And then Burley, my friend Burley, sure. Zeus is the one interesting one to me, especially with the Zodiac stuff, right? MX Saber Evoker plus 2 Terratop. If I'm going to get the 3rd Terratop, like, could we see a Zoo list that's literally like, and again, I don't know how many Barrage they have in the OC. I don't know if they have Barrage Band, Bravo Band, and Rapier 1 just like we do in the TCG. I honestly don't, so I have to look into that. But you're telling me to get the Dryden, they get MX Saber Evoker with 2, maybe even 2 is enough to play the Terratop engine, the Speedroid engine, but if they get a 3rd one on the next list, then definitely. And we have Zeus going to 3, which is actually a huge thing for them. Like, to play Zeus, especially as a pure deck, you have to have more than 1 Zeus. At least 2, and maybe even 3. Like, we'll see. But it's cool. A lot of hits here. A lot of hits here. I am scared because Ryzel's already been showing out early in their format, and then they're kind of hitting the other decks that have already been getting beaten by Ryzel early on, fairly significantly here. So I'm scared Ryzel's going to be like tier 0 for them just because they're hitting the 2nd and 3rd best deck pretty good here. But we'll keep an eye on it. Very interesting ban list. I'd love some of these Zodiac buffs. I'd love it. But obviously we'll have to wait and see on that. But I'm out for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, let me know your thoughts down below on this.